story. And I tell this story a lot without Nate here. But now Nate's here.
Well, listen.
This is about the casting of Nate.
I know a little bit about
Do you know that?
You take it. You were on the other side.
So, first episode of TV I never directed. And we were auditioning these characters in Los Angeles and in Vancouver. And then Nate read for the role in his kitchen in Cleveland, Ohio. Like filmed himself reading, with his wife.
My wife did the lines behind the camera.
And the thing came in, and first of all, I already knew Nate's work from his years and years of being awesome, and I'm like, that's the guy. That's the guy. And so I sent in to the producers, that's the guy. And they sent back to me their choice cast list, and Nate Torrence was not the guy. And I go, they're going a different direction. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no. And I had no business questioning their authority. I'd never done anything, but I was like, they're wrong. This guy is Sully. They are 100% wrong. I said, and I went to Jim Michaels, who was one of the producers of the show, and he was the producer who was in Vancouver at the time, and I go, Jim, I don't know what to do here because I'm out over my skis. I'm grateful for this opportunity. Do not want to piss off the people who are giving it to me, but I think they're making a mistake because this is the guy. And Jim goes, listen, man, it's your call. If you want to call them, they can tell you no. You can lobby for it and see, run it at the flagpole. You might piss them off, you might not, I don't know, but certainly it's your call to make if you want to try. So I said, I'm going to try. And I called the producers, the big brass down in LA, and I got them on speakerphone, and I said, hey gang, super fired up here in Vancouver, really fired up by everything that's going on. Love your choices.
Can I call you gang?
Capital G, like formal gang. Really love all your choices. Have one little thing I'd like to spitball with you. If I could borrow you for 5 minutes, I want you to watch your choice for Sully, their audition, and I want you to watch Nate Torrance's audition again. And I want you to look for 3 critical things. And I said, specifically, the other actor was a fine actor. He wasn't Sully. And I said, look at him in this moment. Look at him in this moment, in this moment. There's 3 specific moments in the scenes. And I said, he misses that. He misses this joke. He misses this heart. He misses this connection. And he's holding the script. So he has a guide track. Go back and watch Nate Torrence in his kitchen in Cleveland, Ohio, with no script in his hand, hit every single one of those balls out of the park. If you still feel like the other guy's your guy, I can't wait to work with him. But just and they go, okay. Call me back 10 minutes later, and they go, you get Nate Torrence. And that's how. One of my favorite moments on a set was watching you and Jared Padalecki sit in that room where Jared had to tell you that he was going back to hell.
No, yeah, it really, and you as I know this sounds like a lot of buttering of bread, but sincerely, you as a director in that whole thing, how you handled that's a heavy lifting episode because it's funny, there's heart,
right.
Then the justification of my character in the world, because I remember we went out, we ate right before,
yeah.
Right? And that idea of how are we tackling someone in blue cobalt pants or suspenders that were a little too tight.
Well, hold on, then we have somebody dressed like, where's your, oh, right there.
Yeah.
There's your costume right there.
Yeah. And
we're pointing at you because you're wearing the outfit. There it is, right there. So we just wanted to see that.
No,
so, yeah.
but you did, you cared so much. You just brought, you had such an eye, you approached it, I always say, you approach it like a short film, because television is just so much more condensed at what time you have to create something great.
Right.
And that thing still holds, man. It's one of my favorite, not just characters, but actually, to work with you.
Likewise. Literally, I'm a huge fan. And you know what I think is interesting? Right after that, Bob Singer, who was the big head honcho of the show, showrunner, he was the consistent executive producer for the whole run of the show. was very complimentary. He said, you know, he said, I wasn't a huge fan of that script when I got the script, and I loved the episode. So that was the comment. He's like, I didn't love the material, but the episode because I thought the script was silly. And I said, Bob, I know why, because you thought it was a comedy, and it's not.
So good.
It's not a comedy.
You directed that way too. I remember just finding that voice in the kitchen, like it's like how big, how you know, like
right.
How do we ground him but still make him a character
right.
that is, you know, that's imaginary. But man, that was so fun.
Well, because it was really a story of a little boy,
yeah.
right? I mean, at the end of the day, even when you're looking at Jared, you're looking at a kid because you've known him since he was a kid.
No.
It was again seeing you like when you guys have that, you got adult Jared and he's sitting on the chair and you're leaning on the landlord. That's such a great scene.
Yeah, but there were a lot of heavy lifting. Like he would have, you know, as actors we have thoughts that we bring to a character, but like you flipping us over upside down on the bed, that was all you.
Yeah.
And there were moments that it was like, oh, you're creating a relationship without us having the time to create the relationship. Then it's like, this is what they do. They sit around and talk upside down. And those were the things that just moved it so quick and gave it heart immediately. Because I think you approach that as an actor. Like I'd say you're one of the guys that, like me, I like to be known as finding the emotion of maybe a broader, wackier character.
Right.
And like giving it like this real heart or, you know, ethos or whatever that is. And,
right.
And there was, we went back.
And we did talk, the good thing about it is Nate was willing to have that conversation because first time director Richard was like,
what are you getting? Dude, he was getting ripped on everywhere he went. It's like, oh, here comes the director.
I know.
You know, and it's like,
tough locker room to work in.
Exactly. Like I was like, oh man, they are not letting him off the hook.
No, I don't know if you remember, but the first scene when Jared like punches you in the kitchen, and I go, great, let's do another one, Jared. He goes, why?
No.
You don't want another? Like, no. I'm like, geez, you jerk. Okay, fine. It was like that the whole time, but man, also, Jensen had been a big fan of Studio 60.
Yeah.
So when you showed up, Ackles, like I never see Ackles like flummox. He's like, oh man, I love you. You're great on television.
Oh, they were great. It was one of the best. It makes sense why you guys love the show, because I do think whatever you created in Vancouver bleeds out of that screen and bleeds into these conventions when good people work together.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've really ever.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to leave you to hang out with Nate, but literally you're one of my favorite people on the planet.
You do, man.
And you know why you're so great? Because you're funny, but you're funny in a grounded way. Like, I never read silly, and I've seen your work in a lot of stuff, man. And you always have one foot on the ground, and that makes your humor relatable, and makes your humanity relatable, and that takes everybody on your emotional journey with you. It's a gift, man.
It's a compliment.
It's a gift.
I'm giving my money back. I'm doing this all for free. I need that. I need the pep talk.
I feel like I should stay out here, and I have more questions, sir. Nate Torrence, everybody.
Thanks, mate. Give it up. Best director in the land. I'm so excited to be here. This is awesome. We can, because we took so much, maybe we'll just hop into questions if that's all right with you guys. That sound good? All right. And I might sit or stand. I don't know. I'm all jazzed up. All right, we'll start. Oh,
Hi.
good to see you.
Good to see you. What is the craziest thing you've done on a dare? Or what's the craziest story?
Good one. Craziest thing I've done on a dare. Oh, this one's kind of, well, it's not maybe the craziest, but it's the one that came to mind. So, it was about a few years ago, my kids, I have a little boy and a little girl. And they're kind of just realizing that dad likes to be funny. And kids can kind of go either way on that, like they can be completely embarrassed with you or not. My son loves when I do voices, when I'm big. My daughter, not so much. And so we're in a McDonald's, and I forget why my daughter, I think it was like after a soccer game and she was angry because they lost or something. And I'm like, okay, well, if you can't turn, you know, the attitude around, I'm gonna embarrass you. I'm gonna go ahead and just start dancing in this McDonald's right now. And she's like, Dad, don't, please don't. And it didn't take long until I was literally dancing, and I'm dancing in this McDonald's. But then my son is not liking it, so on my way back, I trip on purpose. But they didn't know it. I trip over like a stool, and I'm just laying on the ground. I totally Family Guyed it for a while, where I was like, ah! Ronald McDonald's. Love you, Dad. So that's a good dare. Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. My name's Sarah, and I just have a question. You have this whole vibe about you, and I think everyone gets that. It's this really awesome, look at me, but also I'm so down to earth, just like you said.
No.
So I'm kind of curious, where do you get your inspiration?
Yeah.
Where do you pull your talent from? Do you pull it from other people? Is it your personality?
Yeah.
Where does it come from?
No, I think, my family, my dad's a super, kind of happy guy, which is weird because growing up I wouldn't have liked it that much. But I think there's something about, he grew up, he was a bass player in a band, I watched him in front of people a lot, but I think it is, one, I have a crazy energy. I think I need to be on medication of some sort and never have. So that's a positive. I don't know if it's positive or negative because I got older. I'm like, maybe I should have made the turn in my 30s. We'll figure it out. So it could be a little bit about that. But no, I don't know. I feel like I have always been very aware of people's emotions around me. And I like not just to be funny. I think there's something about being happy and giving happiness. And I think I have, in the empathy of having maybe some harder things go on in my life when I was younger, and I realized, not to me personally, but to friends, just some, not too serious, but when you experience tragedy or something like that, and you get to be a friend to a friend who's going through it, I don't know if I have a specific memory in 6th grade where that happened, and I think it might have changed my perspective of how to be a good person or how to be a good friend. And I've just never lost it. I don't know, I lean into crazy energy to the point when I'm in auditions, usually they're like, okay, this is great, you need to settle down a little bit. It's I know that you're funny, I know, but your character, your real character doesn't translate to film. You've got to bring it down. So, but yeah, I do. I think it's that. And then it's a choice, I try to keep it real though. I don't want to be ever fake about it. So I'm allowed to have a bad day. But
It doesn't come off that way. That's
I try, yeah. I think
it's real.
Yeah, and I think it's been fun to work in a place like Hollywood where everything is so about image maybe, and so about that most, I hate to say famous people, but most people that would be a little bit more famous would be really attracted to you being like, you're crazy, man.
Well, we love it, and we don't ever want you to stop.
I'll never change. I'll hold strong. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah.
Hey Nate, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hey,
Love the shirt, if I'm allowed to say it.
Thank you. My name's Marnie. I've had a pretty rough year.
Aww.
But I'm trying to look at the positives
Yeah.
as much as I possibly can. What's the best thing to have happened to you so far this year?
Oh. That talk from Spate was pretty awesome. I gotta tell you, I think I needed that as an actor. We're all in this crazy transition place. Isn't it funny? I mean, and I know that maybe the stakes of what you're dealing with has so much more depth, but look at us coming out of post-COVID, and then for me at least with this strike, and uncertainty is just horrible. Uncertainty is just such a beast. And I feel like that combined with, one, tragedy, and not to get into whatever you're dealing with, but sometimes in our ability to have to face tragedy, I feel like we just have to lower our stakes to a daily mindset. And I really try to do that, where I'm like, I've got to let go of some things. I've got to realize where I can, and again, not to take away from what you're going through, but the more I can focus on someone else's issue, the more I can focus on being there, a friend for someone else. It sounds so naive, but man, does that fill me up. And I know in communities like this, when you guys all get together, that's happening constantly, and I think that's why this stuff's so great. So I hope you have a couple moments here this week where people can fill you up, and you can walk away with a smile. Just get through the day. Just get through the day. That's all we ever got to do. One day at a time. That's it. But thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Bless you. Yeah, sorry.
Hi Nate,
Hello.
I'm Lily.
Hi, Lily.
So if there was a zombie apocalypse and you were stuck with 3 people that are in the convention of the actors, who of those people will you choose and why?
Okay, hold on. From the show?
From this convention.
Oh, from this convention, as in on the. Oh, well,
Yeah.
duh. I'd have the boys. I'd have to have the boys, and I'd have the director spate. I wouldn't have the trickster. Because then we could all pick on him and be like, yo, what's this shot? And then we'll make a movie. But yes, definitely I'd want the protection. And I'll just be the laughs.
Thank you.
And I'm pretty quick. I can outrun a zombie. I still can. Not for long distances, but on a dead sprint, I can beat a zombie.
Hello, my name is Hope.
Hope? Oh, good name.
So over the summer, I was a camp counselor at a Girl Scout camp where we all had to have goofy names instead of our real name.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, what would your silly counselor name be?
Oh, good one. I'd say Booger. Booger's strong. It's not too dicey for the kids. It'll get some laughs and a little gross. So, Booger's going for it. And if I need an adjective, then it'd be like long, crusty booger. Huh? Good? We've got some wasabi in the back and guacamole. Anyone afterwards.
That's amazing. I like that.
What was yours? What was your name?
My name was Oreo, and I have a best friend who's here who's named Sunny.
Aw, loved it. That's good. You definitely went a little better than me. You should have went with something deliciously edible. But for some kids, it is. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hope. Cool. Love the outfit.
Thank you.
Take the hair, too.
Goodwill purchase.
Yeah! Even on thrift. How many stores did you have to go to get it?
One.
Wow.
Oh, this is Goodwill, this is JCPenney.
Yeah. Then we went high end. Clearance, or are we talking like a legit retail purchase price at JC?
Definitely always on sale.
Okay.
Always on sale. So I know that you grew up in Ohio.
Yes.
And I am a transplant. I grew up in Texas, but I've been in Ohio since I was 18.
Oh, wow.
So my advice,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
that I would like some advice on how to survive, period. Just how to survive.
Just to survive Ohio? Work out of LA. That is definitely my unfortunate knowledge of choice. What part of Ohio are you at?
I'm from Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Woo, Cleveland, baby. No, it is. I hate one. I love Ohio. I'm back. I got a place there from family. All my family's from there. My wife's family's from there. And as our kids got older, you just start feeling pools and so moving back, getting a place there. I always say I don't think I could live here without LA, but I don't think I can live in LA without Ohio. So maybe that's what it is. You gotta go somewhere else just long enough to appreciate it a little bit. I don't know who you got around you, because Cleveland, it's definitely not the Mecca, but you can only go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame so many times.
Did that last week.
Yeah. And the Browns, we'll see. I don't know.
Don't start.
Well, good luck. Godspeed. I'm about 40 minutes down. I'm in a town called Worcester. If you ever find yourself there, I'm there. That's where I'm at. College of Worcester. Hello.
I am so glad you got to be Sully, because you were the perfect son.
Oh, thanks. Me too. What a gift. And not to interrupt your question, but I gotta say, out of all the things I've ever played, I get the most kick out of people that come up and talk to me about Sully. And usually there's a passion to it that is so overwhelming. But if I go to Disneyland or Disney World specifically, it's the best when it's supernatural plays. So if you ever know anybody, please come talk to me. Please, I will freely give you a Sully hug. But you supernaturalers, man. This is what's amazing. This actually happened at Disney. I'm there for Clawhouse, or I'm there for Zootopia. And we're staying, it was Easter, I think, because they were doing a chocolate egg exhibit, and Clawhauser was on the egg, and so I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about this stuff, whoops. Anyway, so I was the small Hauser at Disney. Anyway, just to finish the story, I'm in an elevator. The elevator opens, and this person might be watching this somewhere. but just starts shaking and crying and just goes, Sully! Sully! And the door's like closed. And I'm with my family and I'm like, guys, I gotta go back to that floor. And so I go back down, I see him, I take a picture, and it was so amazing because she was really shaking with the camera, and I'm like, it's all right, we'll ask somebody to take a picture. But it was my first experience. It had just come out, like whenever that lined up, it was definitely the first fan I had ever had, and it was so amazing. And I'm like, people really love this. And then from there on out, just the love, thank you so much. I got to only do one episode, and you guys love me. It's really humbling to even be invited to this. It's a top character for me that I ever got to play. Anyway, so go.
So what were you like as a kid? Did you have an imaginary friend? And if you didn't, what would your imaginary friend look like today?
Oh, that's so good. I love it. Okay, I didn't have an imaginary friend. You know what I did do, though? I was like, what? I was crazy energetic. I mean, like everything, whatever this is, I continue to be, and I was a joke teller. Like my dad would always, tell us a joke, Nate. Like that was like my thing to like do whatever. But I used to wrestle pillows on a trampoline. I don't know how many people grew up with trampolines. It's a very Midwest thing, but for some odd reason, Midwesters, we all have trampolines in our yards. But I would take these pillows off of the sofa, and I'd act like I was just this wrestler. Like I was really into WWF at the time. And there are so many videos that my brother have of me where I'm like, oh, what's going on? Oh, yeah! Pile driving, and then I'd see him and I'm like, shut up, turn that off, shut up. Doing it out in the open, I don't know why I thought it was such a secret. So my imaginary friends would probably have been like, Randy Savage, Macho Man. Oh yeah! What's gonna do? That dude's gonna do. God rest Thank you, good question. Over here.
Hello.
Hello.
What was your favorite subject in school?
Ooh, school? I wish I would have done better at that. No, I would say I loved English. I love creative writing. I love to write. And yeah, I definitely would have leaned heavily into English. Math, algebra, geometry, I was horrible. I was failing algebra 2 or whatever it was, but I was playing Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof. Fiddler on the Roof, that was crazy. I know all my lines still, oddly enough. I really got to get that checked out. but anyway, I remember we opened it. I was the lead I played Tevye. It was my junior year. And I just remember my algebra teacher coming up after I was done. He goes, Nate, you are horrible at algebra. Pretty good on that stage. He was like, just stay clear of math. And I'm like, all right. So that was definitely my go-to. But creative writing, I actually would have liked the power of the pen and stuff like that. I really leaned into all of that. And I actually took that into college specifically. I won a couple things and got published in a couple, little short stories. And I do write. I haven't sold anything, but I have screenplays that are on the couch before Nate Torrence gets famous enough to produce something. But yeah, thank you.
Hello. So coming up to ask a question can be quite daunting for some people. Myself.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You have a beautiful voice. I'm captivated.
I'm from England. That's probably.
Woo! Stephen Merchant. I worked with him a lot.
Same parents.
Hey.
So how do you prepare to come out to a room full of people?
Oh, that's good. Well, this is what's really crazy. I'm back in the back room. I flew in last night and literally did not know a lot of the regulations of what this is going to be. This is the first convention, post with the strike and everything. So hearing a little bit more about how we're failed, which I think I failed in every way. So I'm sorry. Saturday, I bet they're going to kill it. Sorry. No, but that got me a little nervous. And I'm like, man, what am I going to talk about? How do I handle this? And then to turn the corner and see Spain. right? And I literally had no idea. So the nice thing is when something can take your mind off of what you're about to do, I feel like I coast. If I think too much about it, oh man, I'm screwed. So you did great. I'm hoping I did great. Think less about it, do more. We got this.
Hey, I'm Jess.
What was your name?
Jess.
Yes.
And I was wondering what animal you would be.
What animal?
Yeah.
Oh, animal. I'd probably have to go with a husky cheetah that loves donuts. It's a solid one. Like I said, I'm faster than you think. I'll take anybody in about a 15-yard dash. Yeah, that or a hippo. Not just because of size. I'm saying hippos are intense animals. Like they're like, oh, you look friendly. You're hungry. Oh yeah, you're hungry. What? I hope I do that. I've always wanted to play a more intense character just out of nowhere. Like, I don't know what people would do if I was ever mean. What's your favorite? What's your favorite?
Probably a penguin.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's solid. A lot of good movies about penguins. Thank you so much.
Hi, Nate.
Hello.
My name's Layla. And,
Hi, Linda.
I want to know, how would you describe yourself as an ice cream flavor?
Ooh. Soft serve. A little salty on the inside. But sweet to the very end of the waffle cone tip.
I would definitely add sprinkles because you just bring so much.
There it is. I forgot the sprinkles. Or mochi. I like mochi. Anybody else like mochi? We're like a dying breed. There's not people either love it or hate it. I go to a yogurt store and I'm like, oh, can I get some mochi? And I'm with people. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, I was also thinking like boba would be.
That's exactly. I'm a boba guy too. All about the textures.
Yeah.
So we'll put a boba. Good question. Thank you. Here we go. I'm walking.
Okay, so I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I heard that you had a daughter.
Yes.
How would you deal with bullying?
Oh boy, it's tough. I gotta tell you, man. Not to like break it down, but there is a difference between little, like young girls. It gets real sticky, man. The turn on them. They turn on each other so fast. I definitely. One, it's funny because I live in a small town and because I have the uniqueness of like my job, I feel like that, I hate to say it, but it's bought my kids a little bit of like love, but it also brings a bully about like people who are just angry that you have a different life or something like that. I've really tried to encourage my daughter specifically to take it in that she, one, we're never gonna please everybody, but take it into like what her truth is and what she thinks she's doing well. If you have someone that's just picking on you for a reason that's like nothing, then you need to give it nothing. I'm like, you're be bigger than that, be better than, don't give it time. But if it's something that she needs to work on, where if it's like, hey, well, are you speaking mean? Are you talking mean? Are you teasing? You know, you kind of got to get into that. And it is, I definitely don't have any great answer to that besides maybe you tell your daughter she's got one of the greatest imaginary friends ever. And we will win this war.
My daughter watched you on Supernatural too.
Oh, there we go. So you just tell her, you should just create a little Sully. Sully's always a friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, she'll get there.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Lizzie, with an IE.
Ooh, I like my wife's Christy with an IE. Gotta add that IE.
What advice would you give to somebody who suffers with something like depression or anxiety or whatever, and they have a harder time seeing the brighter side of things?
Yeah.
Just because your energy and your vibe is just so bubbly.
Oh no. Well, one, that's really tough, and I feel like I have learned. I have family members that struggle with that, and I have family members that struggle with the highs and lows of depression. Because that's what's hard. Even as actors, I have a lot of friends that, you know, because there's such big highs and big lows, And I feel like the best thing I can do is not have answers for it. It's like the best thing you can do is just love someone through it, be there for them, have some grace. I think we all could have a little bit more grace, a little bit more empathy, a little bit more revelation. It's like, oh, someone's dealing with something that I can't relate to, Because that's what's so hard. I feel like with depression, there are reasons for it, and you can get through that. Like I could have something negative happen to me. I could lose a job that I really wanted, or then you have actual like severe issues that happen, be it death or sickness or illness. But then if it's just your daily goal, I think that there is, if you can surround yourself with people that are understanding and available, and then you can be for them what they were if they're feeling low and you feel a high. Like I do think that the more that we use ourselves when we're in a peak, the more those lows do go away. That there's something about giving out. But then at the same time, if you're in the low, receive it. And don't think that, don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Like, I don't want to put on some sort of charade like you guys think I'm always happy. Of course I'm not. Of course I can be bummed and you can be sad, but then you have moments like this where you're like, wow, I get to come here, talk to a bunch of people, meet a bunch of cool people, take pictures, see outfits. It's like, and I know that's not everyone's life, but at the same time, I'm not going to let this moment go by without being thankful for every second that I'm in it. And I think that's what we all do a little better. If you're in it, ride the high, and then if it's the low, it's not so bad because you can reference it. Who knows what the next strike? I don't know what I'm going to be doing for a while. And it's like, well, I was so thankful this happened. For my mental state. I told my wife, I'm like, I'm getting there because I know I need this. I need this. And so take care of yourself in that way. Enjoy the moments. Enjoy the bigs.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Hello.
You're gonna have to dig real deep for this one.
Okay.
If everyone in the world except for you stopped sneezing, how long would it take you to notice?
Oh, wow. I can't stop. No, that's a great question. I don't know. Wow. I would say, man, it's hay fever though right now. So I'm going to say it'd take about, what is your answer?
I don't usually go around people except for conventions, so I don't think
That's what it would be. It would definitely be in a large setting of being like, what's going on? I don't know. I guess I do say, yeah. I'm gonna say a month. I'm gonna say that's where I'd land. Not being too observant on sneezes, but then I think when I would start sneezing, that's where I'd get it. Great question, though. I wish I had a better answer. It's one of those where the question was better than the answer. So let's give it up for the question. Like Jeopardy. What's the best question? How long will you wait until you know the world is not sneezing? $5,000. Good one.
Hi, I'm Ollie, and I'm also a high school theater kid.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know, what was it like?
Yeah, no, totally. It's funny. Well, theater has changed so much now. How do you feel? Like, do you got your own, like, is it a posse of people that, like, really get along and hang out together? Or is it still maybe on the outcast side?
Okay, so there is definitely a group of theater kids that all really like each other.
Yeah.
And I am not in that group.
Oh!
I have, like, friends in that group, but, like...
It's hard, but theater at that age is tough. Because I will say, even my son is a little bit like this, where he loves, we make movies together and film, but he hasn't been drawn to the theater side too much, because it's also, that's a style of creativity that I think as you grow in your acting specifically, you'll start to gravitate towards something that maybe isn't stage acting. Because I feel like I was definitely growing up, theater was my only outlet. Then I got into improv, which was comedy in Chicago. I went to study there. And then as I slowly got into film and television, I started liking that much. It is grounded more, So I would say, don't let that define like what you think you're good at, because there's so many levels. And half the time with high school, it's all musicals. I always told myself, I'm an actor who can kind of sing. I'm not a singer who can act. Because most of the time in high school, you feel like the singers that can act get the roles, not the actors who can kind of sing, So that's where I keep going at it. What have you done any productions or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, since like 3rd grade.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's your favorite role?
My favorite, most recently was Footloose.
Oh.
That was a good time.
Wow. Boy, we didn't have that. I had like Hello Dolly, which I was in. I was a judge and a dancing waiter.
Yeah, we're doing Anastasia this year and Little Women. And
Little Women, that's a good one. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep at it, and hopefully, too, it's like, the more you can get in, where are you at? Where are you from?
I'm from here. I'm at
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Charlotte's actually got a pretty legit area. I had a niece that lived here for a little bit, and what did she get cast in that it was out of Charlotte? Caroline. Was it Caroline, the play about, anyway, it's like a Tim Burton feel. Anyway, there are people that actually cast out of here. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I wish I could watch you do Footloose. You need to get in karaoke. Sign up.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
My name's Caitlin.
Hello.
So my question is, if you had to pick a moment from your childhood to describe your life up until this point right here, what would it be?
Oh, wow. Huh. Okay, I got one. So, when I was in 6th grade, I was at an all-you-can-eat buffet with my parents, and I began choking on barbecue string pork. And I choked, and I was with it was 4th of July, and it went down the wrong pipe so I could breathe, and I'm like, oh no, I'm fine. And then I kept drinking like Sprite, and it just kept coming up. And then my mom was freaking out. She's like, we gotta go to the doctor. We gotta go to the hospital. So I go to the hospital. They're like, yeah, he's got a little something stuck in his pork. I end up in surgery for like 3 hours to get the string pork. I was eating way too much string pork, obviously. I was not chewing well. But at the end of when I woke up, they gave me my barbecue string pork in a full Dixie cup. It was that much pork. And I was like, that is so much pork. So anyway, I go home. I have to be on like a Jell-O. Because it was all scraped up. But I was so proud of that Dixie cup pork for some reason. So I look at my older brothers. I'm the youngest of 4. And I'm like, check out all this pork that was in my mouth. I relate to that today. Because sometimes you gotta be proud of the pork that you're choking on. That might be half of my career. But Sully is not a chump. Sully's the filet mignon of some barbecue string pork. Keep chewing. Oh, I love Q&As. I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Thank you. I think that'll be my new t-shirt, be proud of the pork.
Let's get it made.
So I'm Jude. I'm from Austin.
Oh, cool.
And basically, this is kind of a delayed question, although not that delayed because they're coming back. Would you do a little air guitar for us?
Of course I would.
Oh, if you want Billy to play guitar, Billy will play guitar, so you can air guitar to Billy. That'll kind of get it set up here. All right. Billy, whenever you're ready.